Hello, it's Shalita returning. It has been a while. I'm so sorry, but I felt that I would not be doing a service by not giving a video prior to my vacation coming up. So I figure what better way to start the day. Typically, honestly, by the time you all get these videos, I've like waited a while to post it. Um, But this one, I'm going to try something different by going live. And if there are any questions, then I'll be able to answer those during this time. If not, you all please feel welcome to put those uh, questions in the comment section. So that'll work too. Um, but so it's I'll be 3 months post op. Next week. But like I said, I wanted to give a kind of like a log on before going on my vacay. And um, essentially, so much transpires between the videos that I upload and post or whatever. But what I have learned so much just in kind of being on the different groups that I'm on Facebook, dealing with my own situation. Plastic surgery is not for the weak of heart. If you think by any means, you'll get through it and not have difficult days, you are sadly mistaken. I feel blessed to have had a good healing process, but there are some women who don't, and so it can cause depression. And I don't really know how you prepare for depression with plastic surgery. I don't even know if that's possible. But I didn't know that having plastic surgery, you could have, moments of depression. I can't say that I've dealt with any depression, but I had in the beginning, I did have my days where I was like, why do I still look so bloated? Why do I look pregnant? Or like, like when you're getting there, you have like that little round tummy. And I just remember thinking, why in the world do I have this bloating? Why do I feel so tough? Why do I feel like my stitches are gonna bust just because I'm so swollen? You learn what foods to stay away from. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I eat clean all the time, but I know if I don't want to deal with feeling swelling, then I need to eat cleaner. I remember in the earlier uh, weeks of my healing process, um, my mother-in-law was here. She was taking care of me, so I know you all knew that. And she cooked something. I can't even remember what she cooked, but when I tell you, there was so much salt in there, and I felt I felt like my stitches were busted, like the incision line. Um, and of course, I don't think that can really happen, or I pray it doesn't happen or can happen to anyone. But that's how the swelling can feel sometimes. Um, I remember because we have a fryer here, and every now and then I do indulge in some fried foods. I'm from the South, it's just what we do. And whenever I do, it's typically with my sons and my husband. And I remember telling him, "I need you to change that grease." Not because we need to change it right now, but because there's so much salt from previous cooking it's impacting me and I can't. So ever since he changed it, I mean, I haven't had any issues whenever we do like a fried chicken or fish or something like that. I hadn't had any issues, so thank goodness. But other than that, it's been a true process. And even for my family, what they can do for me. I just recently started being able to pick up my youngest son, which I didn't realize how much I'd miss that. I would normally have him crawl up on me in the chair, but you miss those little things that you used to do. And if having diastasis recti or an umbilical cord hernia, you probably shouldn't have been doing anyway, but you did. That's been something now that I've been able to say, oh, okay, I did miss that. And then I still can't pick him up. Like if he wants me to take him downstairs or he gets very kind of babyish, I still can't pick him up. So it's just been a process. I will say that I remember telling you all in my last video that I tried to go to Hand and Stone to get a massage, and I was told that they wouldn't even touch me with a 10-foot pole because I had surgery. Well, I am scheduled to go on a cruise, and even in the disclaimer, they tell you you can't have had surgery within 3 months. Um, and I'm like right at the 3 month line. So it's like, it's okay. I've reached out to my plastic surgery office and they're like, you haven't had any open incisions, open wounds. You're just dealing with the normal swelling. Go ahead. You're perfectly fine. But it's also, it's recommended to have massages, be it lymphatic or just to help kind of smooth everything out, especially if you had liposuction. So I will be having a massage on my trip. I already booked it. So they just gonna have to be okay. And I'm gonna be okay. It's just a process. But those are things that I didn't know before. Like I didn't know that there are a lot of facilities that will not touch you if you've had recent surgeries. And it makes sense. But if you've had a healthy process of healing, I don't see why that should be an issue. If you have a clearance from your plastic surgery office, I don't think that should be an issue. But who am I? Just I would say that if you have had it cleared from your plastic surgery office and they're telling you not to worry about anything and you feel comfortable within yourself, then don't worry about anything. Go ahead and schedule it, do whatever you're going to do. So Hand and Stone will have to touch me because I have a coupon that I'm not going to let expire. And so it is what it is. But again, that was something else that I didn't know. I was told at my last appointment, and my next one is in August, that I needed to wear less compression. And that's fine, but I typically, whether it's a compression garment, which my husband or my sons call it my turtle shell, but whether I have that on or like a faja or anything, you're wanting to keep something on because you're going to feel very secure. Like even now, I have on, this is what they call the turtle shell because it's so hard. And I have on here, you can see is the board. So you're constantly wanting to wear something because it can get feeling so swollen. And with this garment, I'm able to stand up straight. Without the garment, I find that as time kind of goes on, I kind of creep forward a little bit because everything starts to get tighter and our swells. You definitely want to keep a lot of water, drinking a lot of water. And then, like I said, just eating clean when you can, as often as you can. I can't change my whole lifestyle of eating clean. It's just not going to happen because my boys and my husband don't eat clean. But we are taking an initiative to try. So that's something else. So just to kind of show, and I'll show you all. And I typically have this on majority of the day, and sometimes I sleep with it. It just feels good. It feels very, very good to feel secure. I find that when I don't have it on, I don't feel like I can breathe as deep sometime. And I think it's all mental. But I just don't want to feel like I stretch out anything or bust anything. But so just so you all can see. All right, so here's where we are. There's nothing underneath here. Just little me. It gets very itchy because of the liposuction. But as you can see, so definitely still swollen, especially here. This has been, and it's really tender, kind of hard right here. So I try to massage through that just to kind of help it out a bit. Otherwise, I can kind of tell what it'll do, which is kind of do the over here where it's kind of indenting. And it's still swollen, even on this side. But again, that's all normal. So I try to keep everything pressed in, massaged. The belly button is healing quite nicely. Then you can see where the scar starts to come up. And just so you can see, here's my scar, which is actually lightening up. And it's still very numb. Like I can't feel any of that. I can tell like there's a sensation of it, but I can't feel it. Get here, and then I can feel here, nothing, feel. So like in here is where I can feel, the more and more nothing. So the belly button is healing very well. It's already actually healed, actually, and but it's going, the dark color is going away. Now, what I learned is there's like a stalk, right, and that's behind here, and um, you can kind of see like the stalk right there a little bit. So this is by sucking, yeah, and then this is if I don't suck in. But there's a stalk. So for people like myself who had an umbilical cord hernia and there was no belly button really for them to work with, and they had to kind of recreate it. They have to kind of put like a stalk like behind here. And then what happens is you can feel like everything kind of around it. And then they connect the belly button. Now I had someone that I know that her belly button's attached. Now I don't know how that part, what that did with the stalk behind it, but so she had to have that revised. But so this belly button has to be attached. So and I will say, when you have aggressively clean, so like get your Q-tips and peroxide and really dig in there and clean, especially when you can't feel it, and then leading up until when you can. I'm not saying like do it to where you hurt or anything like that, but I am saying like aggressively clean in there, in the incision part of the belly button. So for me, oh, the only other thing is, and I feel like he's gonna want to revise this, and I believe they call that a dog ear. But to me, I think it's really just scar tissue, because I could be wrong, but it just doesn't bother me. Because to the touch of it, and I've been massaging, you can tell I massage this one more than I do this side, because this one's like extra tender. But just trying to massage it down. Otherwise, I believe at my next appointment, he's gonna ask to revise that. Now, if he says he wants to revise it and it's gonna be free, I might think about it. But if it's something I gotta pay for, I'll be good with it. It's not that deep. If I feel like I want it to be smoothed out or something like that, I'll put some tape on it. I mean, I don't want to go back under that knife for anything, to be completely honest with you. I tend to think about cool sculpting or something that's not invasive, like for my arms or whatever, but I don't even think I want to spend the money on that. I'd rather just use my weights over there and do some push-ups. I don't know. Because like I said, it can cause you to feel depressed. Even the females who bodies are banging after they've had surgery, there's just going to quite possibly be something that they're not happy with. And so, like I showed you with the dog ears, I tend to equate it to the tricks of the enemy. Like, well, why's that got to be there? Um, it's just not that serious to me. I always have to say that out loud. It's not that serious compared to my befores. And if any of y'all saw my before pictures, when it just looked like my stomach looked like shrapnel, I'm grateful for the little dog ear or whatever that thing is over there. It could stay there. Or like I said, I can get some tape and do it like that. But I think you do have to really be prepared for the process. This is another thing. And speaking with the friend of mine who had been having some complications, I feel like with her situation, the communication wasn't up to par from her plastic surgeon to her. I truly want to believe that maybe he knew what process he was going to be taking as it related to her process, and she never conveyed that message, and that's unacceptable talk. So I feel like if you I remember I used to have like a folder full of questions, and even if I had the question on there twice written two different ways, I needed to know the answers. Ask. And if you feel like they're giving you the runaround, um, don't accept that. Maybe that's not the surgeon's office you need to be going to. Also, I do remember my plastic surgeon saying, I've only lost one belly button in my entire career. And I will do my hardest to not lose yours, but you have nothing. I appreciated him just even giving me, just keeping it 100 with me and saying, I don't know. I'm gonna try not to, but I don't know. And did I want like this cute little any belly button? I did. My husband said that this. Well, I ain't gonna tell you what he said, but um, yeah. Anyways, this is a large belly button. But when I tell you, the only thing I remember after surgery was when Nurse April sat me in the car and she said, "And you have a belly button." And I don't remember nothing else until I got home and like the anesthesia wore completely off. But till this day, I remember her saying that. Um, so I'm grateful to have one. I've heard, and that's the other thing. If you're going to have the surgery and you say, you know what, I'm going to post it, to help somebody else, do so. But pray about that thing or really think on that, meditate on that, because I have had, people to be not so very nice to me, via social media because why is your scar so high? Why is your belly button so big? I'm grateful I'm alive. When you see these people over in Dominican Republic dying of plastic surgery, when if you're on these plastic surgery groups and you've not had a surgery yet, and then you hear the admin say, "We lost another," of our friends on here, all to go and get better. So I would be willing to think that that person, if they had the chance, if they knew what they were gonna was gonna happen, they probably would say, you know what, I'll just deal with my muffin top, I'll deal with my diastasis or whatever. This is a huge, huge surgery that you're going to embark on. Huge, not only just surgery, but even afterwards. I've seen some females go through, I mean, wound issues, not because they didn't do everything that they were supposed to do. They did, but things can happen, and and then if you have not so great result or not so great healing process, that could lead you into some depression. If you have a great healing process but you're not patient, like I don't have a lot of patience, I'm having to learn patience with this process. I'm trying to just take it day by day. But when you think about, why am I still swelling? I paid all these thousands of dollars. Why am I still hurting? Why don't I see the results that they told me I would see? If you have that type of attitude or expectation, then I would tell you probably need to postpone your surgery, or push, or not um, get the surgery, because no surgeon can guarantee you life afterwards, let alone ideal outcomes. You could be the same 5, 6, 160 something pound person having the same procedure as another 5, 660 pound person and have tremendously different surgery, healing process, whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, and then just really having those expectations and knowing that this is not a weight loss. There's Your weight will fluctuate. You may lose some weight, you may gain some weight. You're gonna gain water weight. I don't even know when that goes away, to be completely honest with you. I think mine is kind of scaling down a little bit, but you're bruising, I remember Nurse April telling me, don't step on the scale for a couple months. Like, just trust me, don't. And I wish I would have trusted her because I looked at it thinking like, no, my eating habits haven't changed. Um, what's the problem? And also with having the surgery, don't ever feel like you're asking an ignorant question. If you go out on these uh plastic surgery boards on Facebook or social media or something like that, if you have a question, ask it. And don't let anyone make you feel like It's a crazy question. No, you don't know the answer. You want to know, you inquire, and that's what it is. Some people would just be better if they just didn't say anything. But it can be some very, it can just be very hard to even as much as I want to be an open book to you all and answer all your questions, and I will, I'm only answering from my perspective, or I'm only giving insight from someone, if I've heard someone's process and how it went. So, I mean, I think that it's a great process, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I don't deal with, I don't like the plastics," or when females, um, want to eat whatever they want to eat, and then wonder why I haven't lost the weight. Then there's just different questions. There's just different things. There's different aspects of it. So, let's see. Someone did ask a question, and it says, "How can I lose weight by only eating frozen cheese pizza every day?" Well, Frank, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not a health care food specialist. Thinking that's probably, if you're eating that every day, that may not be the best bet of losing some weight. I would say maybe increasing some water, putting in more leafy green foods, and then walking. So that would probably be my best advice. So, but I've taken up a lot more time than from you all than I really wanted to. I just really wanted to touch base, like I said before my cruise. I also plan to do a zip lining, so I'll tell you how that process goes, and I'll also tell you how the outcome of the massage was. For those of you who are interested, because they've had or will be having plastic surgery, or just even knowing about the sun and how that impacts you for your cruise. So, and how do you think you should proceed forward as far as how far out? I do think that this is enough time. I had my surgery in April, and then I went ahead and have the schedule for June, so 3 months out. I think that's perfect timing. So, other than that, please share, please click subscribe, please like, please comment any questions that you have. Frank, you're very welcome, not a problem. And again, subscribe. I will say that I feel truly blessed to have had as many people express to me how much I've been very helpful to them. But at the end of the day, I prayed about it before starting this, and that was my prayer, was that, if there were 3 people and 2 of them did not even, I felt like I was wasting people's time, or they wanted to hate on the process that I'd been going through. If I could only help one of them, then I would have done a service. Um, I think that it's just beneficial to be, a voice or an open book to people who genuinely want help, genuinely want to know, and want something recent, not to have to look at videos that were from 5, 10 years ago on YouTube. Want something that's been within the past year, a couple months, couple weeks, couple days. That's been my goal. So I really appreciate you all taking the time, especially the viewers that I've had today so far. Thank you so much for viewing me live. I think I'll do the live more often, especially if there's any questions. I can answer those as we go. But again, please share, please like, click subscribe, and just know that, it's a journey. Before you get it, when you make that deposit, when you're going through it, and even up to a year after, it's a journey. So if you're ready for the journey, you're ready for this process. But I definitely will tell you, it's not for the weak-hearted. So thanks again. Again, click subscribe, like, share, comment, and until next time, stay blessed.